unofficial Universal Orlando podcast is a member of the Mice Chat Podcast Network. MicePod.com. Now, discover the universe, one theme park at a time.
Greetings, Universal fans. It's time for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, discovering more about the Universal Orlando Resort as well as Universal Studios Hollywood, Japan, and Singapore.
Excuse me. Can I have everyone's attention, please? Thank you. Welcome, everyone. We appreciate you joining us for our Islands of Adventure orientation. All of you will be joining us to work in this very special one-of-a-kind theme park. Joining me as part of my orientation team are Tracy.
Here.
Hunter.
How's it going?
And Lee.
Hello, everyone.
And we are here to give you the knowledge you need to bring this park to life and immerse guests in the mythos, mystery, and theme of each areas on offer. This orientation is brought to you in association with Mice Chat and sponsored by Fairy Godmother Travel and the Producers Club. Take it away, Lee.
Once upon a time, there arose a place where worlds of wonder and imagination collide, where heroes and villains conflict, where fantasy and comedy connect, and where past and future combine. This fantastic crossroads, where 6 of the most spectacular worlds of action and thrills ever imagined await, is called Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. Each and every Universal Studios Islands of Adventure team member will play a decisive role in maintaining the quality and integrity of this incredible park, and so, the more you understand and appreciate Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, the better you'll be able to ensure our goal of providing a truly exceptional entertainment experience for each and every guest. So sit back, relax, and imagine, if you will, that you are a P, as VIP as they come. Your friend of stars, sultans, and Spielbergs alike, who, in obvious keeping with your stature, has been entrusted into the personal care of the very finest Universal Studios Islands of Adventure tour guide in all of the islands, and that would be me, your humble host and navigator. So, following along as I take you on a personally guided tour of Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. We will now bring you to the first area of the park, Port of Entry.
Attention! Will all those signed up for the VIP guided expedition to the islands please gather round? Hut hut! Good, well, on behalf of Universal Studios Islands of Adventure Tours, welcome to what is sure to be the adventure of your lifetime. I am Navigator, and I will be your guide on today's journey. Our expedition will be departing in just a few minutes, so now is the time to secure, if need be, any final provisions. Film can be found at De Photos Expedition Photography. Currency can be advanced right here at Port of Entry's government building. For those lacking cash, chickens, meerkats and polished malachite are also accepted as fair barter by most island merchants. Storage lockers, wheelchair and stroller rentals are all available over on the opposite side of Piazza Adventura, as are pleasant lavatory services for the bladder challenged.
Excellent. It seems that we are all ready. And now that everyone is appropriately provisioned and relieved, let me once again welcome you to this exclusive VIP expedition touring Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. My name is still Navigator, and I will be your expedition's guide. So tell me, has anyone ever been here before? No? Okay, we'll stick with our streamlined, simplified introductory tour, which shouldn't last longer than 5 to 7 days, weather permitting. Is everyone okay with that? Oh, and one more thing. The motto of these islands is Live the Adventure, and each of you is expected to do just the same. So is everyone prepared to discover firsthand incredible sights, sensations, wonders, and thrills? Excellent.
I am too.
Let us begin. Shut up, Henry. So let us begin.
Around you and before you stands Port of Entry, the official gateway to the surrounding islands of adventure. Port of Entry, or POE as the locals call it, or is that Po? Has through the ages both enjoyed and suffered a rather checkered past as a fishing village, trading port, military fort, alchemistic academy, mining town, monastery, and of course most recently with the discovery of the outlying islands, the ultimate adventurer's outpost. I'll point out the various town highlights and establishments as we meander through, but first I invite you to gaze skyward to observe Port of Entry's legendary 131-foot-high lighthouse. inspired by Pharaoh's ancient lighthouse at Alexandria, and said to be built on the precise longitude and latitude so that its beacon can be observed from atop Mount Everest. Onward! Lighthouse has 300 steps. Harness is required to climb, and the lighthouse light is 7,000 watt xenon unit, whatever that means. Original Alexandria Lighthouse, one of 7 ancient wonders of the world, was said to tower 350 feet upward, was built in 350 BC, and fell in the 14th century.
Yes, and as we go, you may notice Poe's rather eccentric mix of architecture. Building materials and methods from virtually every continent are represented here, sometimes within the very same structure. I understand one of the older buttresses, I love that word, even contains a few moon rocks. After much wrangling, English is, at least for the moment, the official language at Port of Entry, although Celtoan, Guernegese, Atlantean, Latverian, Sneech, and other tongues may be heard.
On the left is the Island of Adventures Trading Company, the port's largest mercantile and gift store. The founder of the trading company once lobbied to have the bridge inscription re-chiselled, "The shopping begins," but fortunately he was voted down. Incidentally, Poe's form of government is an autonomous, uncommon wealth.
On the right is Caravans, Spice and Trade, dealers in exotic edibles, and next door is Island Market and Export, where I will export some of you soon enough, which is peddlers of fine apparel and gifts.
The wind and water contraption is part of the port's power and water works. Port of Entry relies heavily on unconventional power sources, including static electric, confusion, and the power of suggestion. Oh, and in case you're wondering, the clamshells above you yielded a pair of perfect pearls that were turned into matching bowling balls by a visiting sultan.
Yes, Silk Road Clothers specializes in fine apparel. Upstairs, the Lucky Monkey is an exclusive gambling club catering only to both the wealthiest and most highly unskilled wagerers.
Lost Explorers Hall features the port's most grandiosely opulent interior, but it has been unfortunately closed for many years as all of its members are still missing. On the other side, Ocean Trader Market is the port's lively open-air bazaar. A wily tourist once purchased a genuine Da Vinci there for just $2 and a yak horn.
Croissant Moon Bakery is a real favorite of the locals. It is said their funnel cakes have driven kings to abdicate to their thrones. By the way, the bakery's kaleidoscopic camouflage reminds me of something interesting. There are over 600 different colors of paint employed throughout Port of Entry. Directly above you is Buttrest Bridge, named for its elaborate supports that prevented Zeus willing from demonstrating Newton's law of gravity, which had something to do with a fig falling on Newton's head. So let's pass under. Quickly, please.
Off to the left are a pair of delectable eating establishments, Arctic Express for something cold and yummy, and just around the corner, Spice Island sausages for something more hot and spicy. And on the right stands Poe's premier dining establishment, the Confisco Grill, so named in honour of its prior function as a warehouse for confiscated goods. In fact, nearly everything inside, right down to the forks and plates, is still seized, quarantined and impounded property, except, of course, the food. Immediately adjacent to the Confisco is the entrance to the Navigators Club, an exclusive establishment so secretive even those who work there know nothing of its members, just like the Producers Club. And for more liquid nourishment, check out the Backwater Bar, just inside, where brave braggarts often swap stories of their island adventures. And speaking of, now, if you will follow me down to the water's edge, you'll soon delight in your first overview of the islands.
The body of water we are approaching is called the Great Inland Sea, celebrated since the first millennium for its supreme stone-skipping surface. Just on your right, Island Skipper Tours offers regularly scheduled scenic excursions across the sea between Port of Entry and Jurassic Park.
And this is it, the magnificent, thrilling, unforgettable Islands of Adventure. On the immediate left hovers Marvel Superhero Island, sanctuary for the Universal's preeminent superheroes, and of course their most infamous supervillainous foes. Our excursion there will likely include a mega-intense encounter with the Amazing Spider-Man, a hyperspeed rendezvous with the Incredible Hulk, and perhaps even a terrifying altitude blast by his fearsomeness, Doctor Doom. Next, firmly afloat in foolishness is a hilarious Toon Lagoon, home to many of the most beloved buffoons in comic history.
Right.
Okay, next, firmly afloat in foolishness is the hilarious Two Lagoon, home of many of the most beloved buffoons in comic history. Our itinerary there promises a seriously super-soaking voyage with Popeye and his pals, and also a journey of high atop the Canadian Rockies to the RCMP camp of that dedicated do-gooder, Dudley Do-Right.
And of course, due directly west across the great inland sea resides the largest of the islands, the world-renowned Jurassic Park. After a stop by Jurassic Park's famous Discovery Center, we will tour the park by boat on the ever-thrilling Jurassic Park River Adventure, and we will also venture deep into the park on foot, where we will personally visit a dinosaur up close and personal at Triceratops Encounter.
And to the starboard side of Jurassic Park resides the most mysterious and magical of the islands, the Lost Continent. The Lost Continent is a realm of countless wonders. We will certainly not pass through its timeless gate without first encountering the legendary swashbuckling hero, Sinbad. We will explore ancient ruins that some say lead to Atlantis, and we will tempt fate, if we dare, by braving a breathtaking ride upon a dueling dragon. Oh yes, and for your culinary edification, the Stone Spectacular at Water's Edge is Mythos Restaurant, the finest dining experience in all the islands. We might, praise Seuss, be journeying there for lunch. But firstly, on the immediate right of port of entry awaits our very first destination, Seuss Landing, the island most whimsical, and for fun most outstanding.
Yes, and some port of entry fun facts. It's staffed by villagers. The exotic merchandise arrives from all over the world. Double monkey coat of arms inspired by the site's ancient jungle origins. And Daughters of Adventure stands for, no, we'd better not.
So Darren, how old is Port of Entry / Islands of Adventure?
It is difficult to be certain. What is now known as Port of Entry has existed in various forms for many hundreds of years, although it's only recently become the incredible explorer's outpost that it is today with the discovery of the islands. The Islands of Adventure are obviously of different ages and even from different times, but they've only recently, in 1999 in fact, been discovered by outside travelers eager to explore their many thrills and wonders.
Now Darren, how were the Islands of Adventure discovered?
There are many different and varying accounts. Some say the island suddenly appeared during a total eclipse. Another story tells of a child making a wish and then skipping an unusual stone across the sea. At each point where the stone touched the water, according to the story, one of the 5 islands arose. It must have been a boomerang stone. And then there's the version of the islands being manufactured by some big West Coast entertainment company. But that is clearly preposterous.
Excuse me, sir. How much did Universal Studios Islands of Adventure cost, and how long did it take to build?
That's a very strange question, because after all, how can one possibly assign a cost to a series of entirely unique, wondrous, and priceless islands? You wouldn't ask how much Hawaii cost, would you?
I would.
A lot of money. Still, if someone could reproduce them, they might need around $1 billion American and 2 years of construction time.
Wow.
So how big is Universal Studios Islands of Adventure?
Actually, it appears to vary because the islands, and especially the Lost Continent, seem to mysteriously change size for no apparent and explainable reason. However, 100 acres appears to be a ballpark average.
And how big and deep is the inland sea?
It was once much, much larger prior to the sudden appearance of the surrounding islands. However, it's still apparently stupendously deep, almost beyond measurement. In fact, a current surface area is approximately 10 acres.
Are there areas in the park to get passport stamped?
Yes, in certain retail stores. We'll now take a quick recess and we'll be back with the next area.
Diagon Alley is open at Universal Studios Florida, and we know all you witches and wizards can't wait to visit. So let our friends at Fairy Godmother Travel deal with the muggles in resort reservations. They are Universal Parks and Resort specialists, as well as an authorised Disney vacation planner, and their service is free to you. From the new Cabana Bay Hotel to those other hotels run by a mouse, Fairy Godmother Travel can book all your Orlando area vacation needs. And make sure to let them know you heard about them because of the UUOP, because every UUOP referral helps us continue to bring you the best Universal coverage. Contact them today by phone on 832-284-4002 or toll free 888-939-642539 or go to fairygodmothertravel.com. Let Fairy Godmother Travel make your next vacation magical.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Settle down, everyone. Now it's time to move on to the next area, and that is Seuss Landing.
Now stop. Listen up. Hold your breath. Perk your ears. While I tell of an island, we've come here to cheer.
Woo!
It's a fun place like no place you've ever seen standing. A fantabulous place by the name of Seuss Landing.
Woo!
Oh, this landing named Seuss. Now I really must say, you won't find any other place like it today. It's got rides, it's got playgrounds, and sneetches and whoos. If you listen and look, I will show them to yous.
Now, over there, for the best food from here to Bombay, visit Sam I Am's one and only Green Eggs and Ham Cafe. They've got lots of swell stuff that is oh so yummy that will tickle and snickle and wickle your tummy. Based on Green Eggs and Ham, a story in which Sam I Am teaches a closed-minded character the value of trying something new. Green Eggs and Ham was the result of a $50 bet that Seuss could not write an entire book using only 50 words.
That's $1 a word.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm saying
you didn't know that.
No, that's cool.
Told you that before, you didn't listen.
Seuss's ham is, of course, the world's biggest and could easily make over 10,000 ham sandwiches if it were actually a ham and not a building. Now, remember the story of young Gerald McGrew? He dreamt of a fun place called If I Ran the Zoo. It's a new zoo like no zoo you've ever been to, filled with fun slides and crawl caves just waiting for you, plus oodles of creatures that squirt, spin, and grow. Why, there's even a beast that plays tic-tac-toe. Based on If I Ran the Zoo story, in which a young dreamer, Gerald McGrew, uses Imagine to think up a wondrously incredible of creatures.
Right there in the centre. See that thing in the middle? Why, it spins and it whirls, makes big noises and jiggles. It's a magical musical ride, I can tell. The name of this fun is the Carousel. Can anyone tell me who's way up there on the top? Right? Horton the elephant. And do you remember Horton's few famous words?
A person's a person, no matter how small.
Carousel is the most elaborate carousel ever built. There are 78 Seuss characters on the ride, drawn from many Seuss stories. Horton, character from Horton Hears a Who, and Horton Hatches the Egg stories, in which big-hearted Horton resists trials and taunts of others to help those in need, Tiny Who's in Whoville, and to keep his word, hatching elephant bird egg. The 7 types of Seuss creature on the Carousel are, number 1, the elephant bird, an elephant with bird's wings. Number 2, the horn-headed huppy, a dog with tall antlers.
I've written that.
Number 3, the snub-schnozzled snooker, a fish with head plume. The cowfish, soon to be located in Universal Orlando's City Walk.
They're delicious.
Sorry, a fish with cow... That's quite interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A fish with cow's head. 5, the birthday catrue. It has long, tufted, ringed neck. 6, the mulligatawny. It's a very spicy soup. There's a long neck with head mask and reins. And finally, the tip-tufted wumpus. A long neck with head feather.
I've written that one too.
See this pond over here? That's McElligot's Pool, which connects to great oceans and seas dark and cool. If you'd like, feed a coin to an open-mouthed fish, and he'll thank you, he will, with a squirt and a swish. Based on McElligot's Pool, a story in which young Marco uses his imagination to dream of wondrous waterways and fabulous fish connected to McElligot's fishing pond.
See that? See that big hat? That big hat belongs to the cat. In the hat. So follow me. I'll be your guide. As we enter the Cat in the Hat, right inside. Based on the Cat in the Hat and the Cat in the Hat Comes Back stories, in which a mischievous, uninvited cat creates an enormous mess in the house of a young boy and his sister Sally, which then the cat miraculously cleans all up. Well, if you left it to the kids, they wouldn't.
No.
The Cat in the Hat book contains just 220 words. Think you have a big head? The cat's gigantic hat is a size 139.
Now over here, if you wish, with a splash and a swish, you can spin and grin on one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Where you'll learn about up and you'll learn about down as you spin and you swoop and you fly round and round. Why, you'll have so much fun you'll not want to come down. Based on one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, a nonsense story that teaches young readers to read. The big fish in the center is a humongous new nimbus.
Okay. In this big topper tent, for a meal most tremendous, try the Circus McGurkus Cafe Stupendous. A trapeze swings above, a calliope plays too, not to mention good food for you and you too. Based on If I Ran the Circus story, in which young Maurice McGurk imagines an incredible circus in the empty lot behind the store of his friend, Mr. Sneelock.
Look, there is the Lorax, who spoke for the trees, and the birds in the sky, and the fish in the seas. For the trees and the birds and the fish have no tongues. So he asked of us, please, at the top of his lungs, treat each living creature with kindness and care. Don't hack down a tree or spread muck in the air, for unless someone cares just like you, they'll all disappear, and then what will we do?
And over there lives the Onceler, but don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkim on top of his store. But on rare special days when he thinks you're alone, he might whisper to you through his whisper-mophone.
You needed me.
Based on the Lorax, a story in which the wise Lorax, speaking for the land, animals, sea and sky, teaches the business-blinded Onceler the importance of protecting the environment.
These towering timbers are truffula trees and much more than needs. They're what everyone needs. In the story of the Lorax, all truffula trees were cut down to make the needs, resulting in an environmental disaster.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Lovely.
Hooray for heavy-handed symbolism.
Now here is a neat treat you'll soon drive, high above all Zeus Landing, where the trufflers thrive. The funds from Sylvester McMonkey McBean's very unusual driving machines. Now McBean, he is most quite nearly done, so when you return you can ride and have fun. Based on the Sneetches story, in which clever conman Sylvester McMonkey McBean profits from the prejudice and jealousy of the Sneetches, until at last the Sneetches realise they are all the same regardless of whether their bellies have stars or not, is quite interesting considering how long it actually took them to put that ride in.
Mm-hmm.
That's not part of the script.
No, I know.
Oh, says Mr. Stick to the script, do you?
There's the Hop on Pop ice cream shop, which is always a coolicious place to stop. In fact, here on Mulberry, I'm sure you can find whatnots and gift knots of every kind. Book, Hop on Pop, is a nonsense story that teaches young readers to read. 1937 book, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street, was the first Seuss book to ever be published. Gertrude McFuzz is a girl bird who once had the smallest plain tail ever was. See the grand man in the bandstand on the left with the hat? He looks just like the great Dr. Seuss. Lucky chap. And these footprints right here running this way to that, they're the tracks of a close-minded south-going Zax.
Now, just round the corner, if you care to go, you'll find two stubborn Zacks standing toe-to-toe. There is also Sneetch Beach, but the Sneetches must wait. It's time to move on now, the hour's getting late. So say goodbye for now to the landing of Zeus. Did everyone have fun? Good, and I did too. Zack's characters from the story The Zacks, in which two stubborn Zacks refuse to move out of each other's way, even as the entire world passes them by.
Seuss Landing fun facts. Off-kilter palm trees throughout Seuss rescued from Hurricane Andrew. I actually had heard that one before.
Mm-hmm.
Many Seuss structures sculpted in foam, then covered in concrete, steel often elaborately bent and twisted. There are no straight lines or right angles in Seuss. There are over 500 colors on display throughout Seuss Landing. Seuss Landing's whimsical attractions, like most of those throughout all of USIOA, are entirely wheelchair-friendly and accessible. And if stretched out end to end, cables and the Cat in the Hat would stretch from Orlando to Cape Canaveral.
Whoa.
Wow.
Question for you, Hunter. Who was Dr. Seuss?
Well, come here, little Jimmy, and let me tell you. Dr. Seuss, otherwise known as Theodore Gazelle, was born in Massachusetts in 1904, attended both Dartmouth and Oxford, and for many years contributed humorous articles and cartoons to magazines. In 1936, he authored his first children's book, And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, which was promptly rejected by 43 publishers until published by a friend in 1937. It was revolutionary, thumbing its imaginative, exuberant nose at the bland, traditional Dick and Jane style children's books of the time. Seuss went on to create over 40 world-famous and beloved children's books. On why he never had any children, he explained, "You make them, and I amuse them."
Okay.
Okay, Hunter, I want you to never talk again. Tracy, did Dr. Seuss base his stories on Seuss Landing, or is Seuss Landing based on Dr. Seuss's stories?
Ah, well. That is one of those tricky which came first, the chicken or the egg kind of questions. And I'm thinking the Horton egg there. We here at Zeus Landing prefer to simply be thankful there are both chickens and eggs, especially green eggs.
Interesting. And Lee, what was the last Seuss book published?
It was, of course, Oh, The Places You'll Go.
Okay, Hunter, I'll give you another chance. Is Dr. Seuss still alive? When did he die?
Well, Jimmy, it's a little screwed up that you assume that he's dead, but yes, he is. Mr. Theodore Geisel passed away in 1991. Dr. Seuss, however, lives on, both here and wherever his stories continue to enthrall on and all.
So going through a little bit more of Seuss trivia for you all. Darren, what is the name of the Grinch's dog?
Max.
Tracy, Mrs. McCabe had how many sons named Dave?
23, and I knew that without the answer there.
Hunter, what kind of animal is Yertle?
A llama. Pardon me, a turtle.
Darren, who does Horton hear in the book Horton Hears a?
Oh.
Tracy, what is the last letter of the Seuss alphabet?
Hi, for Hi Gargalorum.
Oh, I'm sure. Hunter, what is the name of the guy Sam I Am tries to get to eat green eggs and ham?
His mom didn't love him and didn't give him a name.
Oh. Darren, how many sizes did the Grinch's heart grow when he finally learned the meaning of Christmas?
3 sizes, which means he's going to die very soon. The large heart is a serious medical condition.
Coming this Christmas, John Madden and the Grinch in heart sizes.
A famous animated Seuss TV special runs every Christmas season. Who narrates the show, and what other role is he famous for?
That would be Boris Karloff, who also played Frankenstein in the classic movie.
Hunter, what do some Sneetches have on their bellies?
Stars.
And finally, Darren, in the story of the Lorax, what are the names of the trees that the Onceler chops down to make thneeds?
Oh, we talked about this. They are truffula trees. Truffula trees indeeds.
For all your thneeds.
I have the last 2 on my shoulder.
You do?
Yeah. All right, well, that will conclude the first part of your Islands of Adventure orientation. We will notify everyone by mail when the next session of orientation will be. So until then, for Hunter, Tracy, and Lee, I'm Darren, and this has been IOA 101.
That does it for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Between shows, we'd love for you to get in touch. So email us with your spews, funny schmitz, comments, questions, and news to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Keep up with what's going on every day by following us on Twitter at UUOPodcast, like our Facebook page at facebook.com/UUOPodcast, follow us on Instagram and Pinterest at UUOPodcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/UUOPodcast, and don't miss a show by subscribing to us on iTunes, and please leave us a review. Not an Apple user? Then head over to uuopodcast.libsyn.com and subscribe to the feed while you're there. You can also find us on Stitcher Radio and at micepod.com. Come find us on our partner site, micechat.com, join the forums, and say hello. So thanks for listening, and remember, be adventurous.
This has been a micepod.com presentation.
MiceChat.com